The name's Bond. Beast Bond. I'm John of Forever DM and adventure writer at dumbestdnd.com. Today we're looking at a first level divination spell called Beast Bond. Available to our nature buds, the Druid and Ranger, this spell lets you telepathically communicate with one furry little critter. This is one of 3 first level animal related spells, similar but different to Animal Friendship and Speak with Animals. With a casting time of 1 action and a range of touch, you'll already need to be buddied up with said beast in order for this to work. When you create the link though, it will last for 10 minutes as long as you can concentrate, and you can communicate telepathically. Beastmaster Rangers should love this spell, while Druids likely sit there wishing that they could be the beast, but are too low level to wild shape into anything cool yet. This spell tends to be a bit more roleplay heavy and leaves a lot of decisions up to the DM and player, but it does essentially grant you an animal companion with no size limitation very early in the game, prior to the Beastmaster Rangers level 3 feat Beast Companion. Beast Bond has verbal, somatic, and material components, the material being a bit of fur that's wrapped in cloth. Whose fur and from where? Who knows? There are some bigger questions to discuss, but let's first dive into the rules as written. Remember, you can always fight me in the comments if you disagree in my interpretation. That's what makes this fun. You establish a telepathic link with one beast you touch that is friendly to you or charmed by you. Telepathic link. No words necessary. No sign language, whistles, nothing. Your brains are just connected, which means you'll also hear every terrifying thought as they've ripped the arms off the bandits you're attacking. The beast you touch has to be friendly or be charmed by you in order for this spell to work. There are plenty of ways to make that happen, specifically Animal Friendship, another first level spell in the Druid and Ranger spellbooks. Same rules, must be the intelligence of 3 or lower and pass a wisdom saving throw, otherwise it is charmed by the caster for 24 hours. No concentration needed. Once that is complete, any hostile creature can become a fuzzy friend that you can then use Beast Bond with. Cycle is complete. The spell fails if the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher. No measure of the size of the beast, just the size of its intellect. Rough Look shows that there are roughly 100 beasts in D&D with intelligence of 3 or less, including the mighty Brontosaurus, a gargantuan CR5 dino beast. Now, not all settings will have dinosaurs, but I bet you could probably find a hulking crab, giant crocodile, or a rhinoceros in your setting. Again, it will depend a bit on how your DM is feeling about the setting, so definitely check in with them to understand what animals you might be able to find in the wilderness. Though, I think I could probably figure out how to get a giant snapping turtle to appear in just about any climate. Let me know in the comments what beast you would be most likely to try and bond with. Until the spell ends, the link is active while you and the beast are within line of sight of each other. For 10 minutes, as long as I can see the feral fuzzball, we can communicate telepathically. Pretty straightforward here, just be sure not to take any hide actions or go behind an insanely large object. Bards can insert a yo mama joke here. Similar, if you do break prolonged eye contact, if you're still concentrating, I'd say the link is still there, there's just no signal. As soon as you come back into sight, they'll hear you again and vice versa. Through the link, the beast can understand your telepathic messages to it, and it can telepathically communicate simple emotions and concepts back to you. Think of Jane Goodall and the gorilla she would communicate with. Simple messages given back and forth with sign language. Granted, this would be telepathically. Same thing here, but without any somatic movements at all. It's all in your mind. Note that there's nothing in there about taking an action to relay information or to issue commands. It's a direct fiber internet 1 GB connection. No dial-up needed. But what does simple emotions and concepts mean? As a DM, I imagine this to be similar to talking to a 5-year-old, or some of the players at your table. Very in the moment, frantic thoughts that don't ever really connect together all that well, and thoughts will likely tie in to how the animal typically thinks. Predator? Hungry. Herbivore? Also hungry. Many beasts are driven by survival instinct, so it's likely that survival thoughts will be the majority of their train of thought. If they see their new friend, aka you the caster, attacking someone, they'll think, "This guy bad?" Which you can confirm, leading them to fight that same bad guy. While the link is active, the beast gains advantage on attack rolls against any creature within 5 feet of you that you can see. So to some degree, this is the big question with Beast Bond, and we'll cover attacks in a moment, but this proximity is like furry flanking. You as the Beastmaster don't get any advantage, but because the beast is so charmed by you and wants to protect you, it has enhanced attacks. Not too shabby. Now that we've ripped this apart from a rules as written perspective, a few questions remain. Can you ride the beast you've bonded with? Well, in D&D 5e, standard mounting rules would apply, which note that you can control a mount only if it has been trained to accept a rider. Donkeys, horses, etc. There are also mounts that let you ride but ignore your commands, and these independent mounts likely need to at least be friendly to let you hop on. With Beastbond, there's a chance for a quick convo before mounting to get a sense of whether the beast is cool with it, but Beastbond does not grant you auto-mounting capabilities. Can you attack with the beast? You can talk to the beast directly, but it does not mean that you are able to convince it to attack. This is not necessarily a furry companion, so it may not take kindly to receiving orders and might even just Leroy Jenkins into combat instead. But let's explore this a bit further. Do you control the beast's actions with a Beastbond? This one's a bit fuzzy because of spells like Dominate Beast that very specifically cover controlling a beast and making its action decisions. Similar to Animate Dead, most of these control spells use the verbiage, "it defends and preserves itself to the best of its ability," when no command is given, of course. Same would be true for this beastie boy as well. It is friendly to you already, so it will likely fight alongside of you, but it's also fairly dumb, so it might not always do what you expect. At the table, if you use Beastbond, I as the DM will continue to play out the beast's actions, but leaning toward benefiting you as the player in almost all cases. In the case of Dominate Beast, you would control all of its actions without using an action yourself, or control it very precisely by using an action. Long story long, you don't technically control the beast's actions, but you can heavily suggest through your telepathy what you'd like it to do. Now let's take a look at the history of Beastbond across different editions of D&D. It first appeared in 5th edition with the Elemental Evil Player's Companion Guide. That's it, no other updates. Beastbond is one of those spells that feels very similar to other spells though, so here are some of the spells often confused with Beastbond and a little more about the differences between the two. Speak with Animals. This first level spell allows you to verbally communicate with beasts for a limited duration, enabling a back and forth conversation. While similar in concept to Beastbond, which provides telepathic communication, Speak with Animals is more flexible since it can be used on any beast you encounter, not just ones you have bonded with. However, Speak with Animals lacks the continuous telepathic link that Beastbond offers. Speak with Animals is also likely to have you making squirrel noises while the rest of your party wonders what you're doing. Animal Friendship. Often mistaken for Beastbond, Animal Friendship is a first level spell that makes a beast friendly toward you for 24 hours. While this spell allows you to influence the behavior of the beast, it does not establish a telepathic link or allow detailed communication. It's more about gaining the trust of a creature and appearing friendly rather than forming a short-term link. Find Familiar. This first level spell conjures a spirit that takes the form of a small beast. You can communicate telepathically with your familiar if it is within 100 feet, similar to Beastbond, though that has no distance limitation as long as you have line of sight. Additionally, you can see and hear through your familiar senses. However, Find Familiar is more versatile because of its magical nature and the additional abilities it grants, like delivering spells, making it a go-to spell for many casters seeking a companion. Beast Sense. A second level spell that allows you to perceive through a beast's senses for up to an hour. While this spell is similar to Beastbond in that it provides sensory information from the beast's perspective, Beast Sense lacks the two-way communication that Beastbond provides. You can only receive sensory inputs without giving commands or communicating with the beast. Dominate Beast. I mentioned this one earlier on, but this 4th level spell gives you control over a beast, allowing you to command it, again telepathically. Though similar to Beastbond in its telepathic aspect, Dominate Beast is more forceful, compelling the creature to follow your orders rather than forming a cooperative bond. It's often confused with Beastbond due to just the telepathic command ability. Conjure Animals. 3rd level spell that summons fey spirits in the form of beasts. While you don't directly communicate with these conjured beasts, they obey your verbal commands. Players might mistake this for Beastbond because both involve interacting with animal-like creatures to perform tasks or assist in combat. Then Find Steed. This spell summons a celestial, fey, or fiendish mount with which you can communicate telepathically as long as it's within 1 mile, so a distance instead of just line sight. This link is similar to Beastbond, but the bond is more permanent, and the mount has more magical qualities. Confusion often arises since both involve forming a deep connection with a creature. And forgot one. Awaken. This 5th level spell grants intelligence to a beast, allowing it to communicate verbally. After the awakening, the creature forms a bond with you. Although not a direct comparison to beast bond, there can be some confusion due to the long-lasting nature of the bond itself. So there you have it. The 1st level spell, Beast Bond in D&D. I'll have a separate video later this week on other uses for Beast Bond, but how have you used it in the past? Let me know in the comments, as well as anything I missed. If you have a spell you'd like me to do a deep dive into, let me know. I broke my alphabetical streak, so instead I'm going alphabetically through lower level spells first. Thanks for watching. Till next time, roll high, stay ridiculous.